AJ Ganger, and I am the television station director for the Indian Nation station, which is the Piqua Public Access channel here in town, also known as Channel 5. I've been born and raised in Troy, Ohio, down the street here. I went to Troy City Schools from kindergarten through 6th grade and went to Miami East from 7th grade until high school, where I graduated in 2011. I went to Wilmington College and graduated from there with a bachelor's in communication arts in 2015 and was hired in this job in 2017. So I never really was super involved when it came to high school or college. I didn't join a lot of groups or anything because I was always playing sports. I wrestled for 16 years of my life since I was at least 5. So I didn't really have time for the arts because I was going from one practice to another practice every single night of the week. But there was always part of me that always wanted to be a sports broadcaster. I always wanted to be one of those guys on ESPN calling games. When I was little, I would mute the TV when I was playing football on PlayStation or something, and I would call the game myself. Sometimes I was out in the yard, playing games by myself and commentating and being the referee, and people make fun of me for it now, but that was just always me. But you'll never ever catch me with a pencil and a piece of paper drawing or painting anything, because the only thing I can draw or paint are stick figures. So my art is just literally videography at this point. So in high school, I took I think it was an intro to mass comm class that they offered at Miami East, and we were really just studying film and the impact of some film that has. So we would watch Charlie Chaplin films, and we would watch the Romeo and Juliet's, the real one, and then the Leonardo DiCaprio one, the really bad one. But it got me more interested in film and how do things work. And one of my English projects, we were tasked with basically making our own Hamlet, and that's how I pretty much started doing that. As I got into college and did more things, I had the ability to learn how to use TriCasters, to learn how to do a live broadcast, doing sporting events for Wilmington High School and Wilmington College through a website called Campus Nation, and a local radio station in town. So it really taught me a lot about, okay, these are the rules, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do, this is how you set it up, this is how you tear it down, this is how you change camera angles. So I learned all of that pretty much throughout my college career, and I kept doing that stuff after I graduated college. I didn't have a job in my field of study until 2017, and I graduated in 2015. So I was working retail on the side as my main job, my main source of income, and then I was going and volunteering still. I didn't get paid to go and do these games. I just did it for the love of it and because it was just fun. So being behind the camera, I was always used to, when I was in college, they always wanted to put me in front of it because I was funny, and I always feel comfortable in front of a camera. I don't really get as nervous as some people do, but being behind the camera now, I feel more comfortable with that than I did in the past, just because, I can see that this shot is going to work better, or this shot's going to work better, or these people are doing this thing, or these people are doing that thing, and you want to be able to be in that right position to capture that moment. And I feel like capturing those moments last a lifetime, whether it's a community event where a band is playing, or a kid is playing hopscotch, or using one of the new tools, or getting their face painted, or it's at a football game where a coach is talking to a kid individually, or the crowd is going wild, or you can just tell the suspense on some people's faces. It just does, it's cool to be able to see those moments behind the lens as opposed to being in front of it. I think arts impact communities in a big way. I mean, if you don't have arts in a community, you don't have a lot of things. You don't have cool looking cars. You don't have food. you don't have, because if you think about it, I mean, you look around at these restaurants and stuff you go to, they always have pictures of those foods, and if you don't have art, you don't have those pictures, because a lot of them are faked and production and everything like that. You don't have, I feel like you just don't have a sense of creativity without the arts. And one of the things that helps me express myself is being creative and being in this job, because I'm able to show off a lot of the things that I know, but I also am allowing myself to show off the things that the kids in the high school have taught me. I've learned more from the kids at the high school than I ever did in college or from YouTube. I mean, it brings communities together, and I see it firsthand all the time, whether it's at a civic band concert or Taste of the Arts or down a river, down a beer. I see the community coming together, the community talking, having fun, and if you didn't have art, you wouldn't have that. That's a really hard question to answer, is establishing the worth for the arts, because everybody is different. A lot of people see different things as being art when really everything is art. When you really think about it deep down, I mean, you have music, that's art. You have video, that's art. You have photography, that's art. You have paintings and drawings and stuff. It's just really hard to put a worth on anything. But I mean, again, if there wasn't any art in the world today, I mean, it would be a bland, colorless world. So a lot of people don't understand really what my job is when I talk to them. They're like, well, what do you do? When I say, well, I'm a director of a TV station that's a public access station, they're like, well, what do you do? And it's pretty much, I do everything. I mean, I'm a cameraman, I'm a video editor, I'm a social media manager, I'm a photographer, I'm a TriCaster engineer, I'm a replay engineer, graphics, you name it. I do it all with the help of the students and with the help of the media department there at the high school. And it's a really fun and exciting job. I get to work with students who are either passionate about media or not. And the ones that are the bright stars. I had an intern this past year who's going to Oregon to keep studying and doing this exact thing with the arts, and it makes me happy to know that all I had to do was put a camera in his hand when he was in 7th or 8th grade, and he stuck with that and bought his own camera and bought his own tripods and his own equipment and helped me, become my intern. I mean, those are the things, those are the stories that I love seeing. I don't do a lot of this job for the administration or anybody like that. I do this job for the kids and for the parents, because in 10 years down the road, YouTube will probably still be a thing, but there'll be something better. But you could still go on YouTube and watch something that was filmed by us 10, 20, 30 years down the line and go, wow, that was cool, or hey, I remember this, and you can show your grandchild, I ran a touchdown here, or I was out at Taste of the Arts and this is what I was doing while I was there, and this painting right here in my living room was made at Taste of the Arts. That's just some of the things that I really enjoy and some of the things that I hope happen in the future. Connecting with the kids has been one of the challenges to this job, but when you teach them new things or let them do things that normally they're not allowed to do, like run the TriCaster or run the replay system or do the graphics, or they're watching you do it and you're explaining it to them as you go along, then it starts, the wheels start turning in their head, and they start getting more and more interested and more involved, and they're asking me, hey, when can I do this, or when can I do that? And then it's like, all right, cool, now you can do this game and I'll sit here and watch you do it and help you through it. And that's just one of the cool things too, is being able to see those students that weren't really interested in media become interested in it. I mean, they're not only working for me, they're making the news for themselves, for the entire student body. They're shooting videos for shows that we have, like PHS Nows, or I'm from Pickwas, or they're going to these community events, and a lot of them come back and say, wow, that was cool. For example, when COVID hit, we had to do dance Dancing with the Pick with Stars virtually, and we filmed all the dances on one night, and I had 3 students that helped me do it, and then we did the live version of it another night, and they had the same 3 students that helped me film those dances were there at the event, and they told me afterwards that they absolutely loved it and when's the next one. So that's stuff like that to me, getting those kids out in the community more involved, and getting their eyes on some of the events that maybe they never knew happened. That to me is special. If you're really truly serious about getting into communications, either media production or journalism, really pay attention. If your schools, your high schools offer you that kind of stuff, go and take those classes. A lot of times they're going to be electives. They're not going to be general education classes like a math or a science. Take those classes. Learn everything you can on your own. I mean, get an editing software. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. It doesn't have to be Adobe Premiere. You can use Sony Vegas, or you can use DaVinci Resolve, whether you have it or you don't. A lot of websites have great resources for learning. I still learn stuff every single day, not only from the students, but I go on YouTube and I watch a lot of videos on how do I create this in a video, or how do I create that in a photo, or how do I do this. I'm always learning. That's the thing, is when it comes to this sort of job, you're going to always be learning, whether you realize it or not. And I mean, it could be something that you do on accident, which I do a lot of times when I'm editing videos and stuff. I do little things on accident. So just always keep learning, take it seriously, and always have your eyes open for the next big job, because you never know what is going to come around, or what opportunities may present themselves. If anyone is interested in watching any of the videos that we have, we have a not only the channel 5 here in town. If you have Spectrum in certain areas of town, you can watch our channel, but you can also go to our YouTube page, which has all of our videos as well, which is just search the Indian Nation Station on YouTube. You can follow us and like us on Facebook, which is the Indian Nation Station. I also have videos posted on the pickwa.org website with all of our sponsorship deals, what you get for as being a sponsor. I mean, you can go on our YouTube page as well and check out some of our newer commercials we did, like This and That Candy, Little Caesars, Buffalo Wings and Rings, Kathy Henney's Remax team. We've done a lot of those things. A lot of Pickwa Sports is on there, as well as all the community events here in town as well. So go ahead and check us out. The kids do phenomenal work. They really do work hard out there at the high school to present these kind of things to you guys.